Fishy Rishi Sunak and his kamikaze campaign is on a one-man mission to bring down the Conservative Party, and he should be ashamed of himself. The blue-on-blue attacks on Liz Truss and her bid to restore Tory values are becoming more deranged by the day as Team Sunak flounders ahead of an almost certain Truss victory next month. But now they're doing huge damage to the electoral chances of the party and only assisting slippery Starmer and his Labour, Lib Dem, SNP, Green potential future coalition from hell. Today's sideshow began in the Establishment Times newspaper, which is, of course, backing Sunak, with an incendiary column by the Deputy Prime Minister Dominic Raab, also backing Sunak, which they made their front page splash. Referring to the Truss economic plan, Raab wrote, "If we go to the country in September with an emergency budget that fails to measure up to the task, voters will not forgive us as they see their living standards eroded and the financial security they treasure disappear before their eyes. Such a failure will read unmistakingly to the public like an electoral suicide note and see our great party cast into the impotent oblivion of opposition." Now, Truss hit back today, declaring she is an optimist about the future of the UK, who believes our best days are ahead of us, and dismissed Sunak's henchmen as portents of doom.
What I care about is Britain being successful. I don't agree with these portents of doom. I don't agree with this declinist talk. I believe our country's best days are ahead of us. And what I'm going to do, if selected as Prime Minister, is keep taxes low, get the economy growing, unleash the potential right across Britain. That's what I'm about.
But her allies are privately seething at Sunak's increasingly dirty tricks. The highly respected Defence Secretary Ben Wallace went public saying this today.
I'd say a gentle warning to Rishi's camp that, blue on blue is not going to help the Conservative Party win the next election. We have to maintain our brand. I think those type of attacks are unnecessary and actually, I think, say more about, that team than it does about Liz Truss.
The Mail on Sunday columnist Dan Hodges went further, warning Rishi Sunak camp have just formally accused Liz Truss of being, quote, divorced from reality. His strategy is clear now. If he can't be Prime Minister, he's going to take the government down with him. I wonder how much longer Rishi Sunak supporters are going to tolerate what has essentially become a kamikaze campaign. Well, let me be clear on that. Sunak supporters shouldn't tolerate this madness for a moment longer. The Boris backstabber is allowed to make his big state high tax pitch to Conservative voters who will make up their own minds about his Labour economic ticket. But to attempt to try and destroy Truss before she's taken office is highly irresponsible. It's not backed up by the facts either, by the way. A new poll today by Redfield and Wootton Strategies showed Truss 3 points ahead of Starmer in a battle of who would be the better Prime Minister, while Sunak is actually behind Starmer by 6 points. The more the public seem to see of Liz, the more they like her. So yes, she's facing an incoming storm, the likes of which would test even the greatest Prime Minister, which is why Sunak attempting to lead the party into a civil war at this time is frankly unforgivable.